97% of men over 50 miss the moment when a woman starts flirting with them. Not because they're clueless or out of sync, but because the signs have changed. She's not going to twirl her hair and giggle like a schoolgirl. She won't boldly say, "I like you," or suggest grabbing a drink. Instead, she'll ask a question, soft, casual, seemingly harmless, a question that opens a door. And if you don't walk through it, that door closes just as quietly as it opened. That's how it happens. You leave thinking it was a pleasant chat. She walks away thinking, "Guess he's not interested." You didn't say the wrong thing. You just didn't say the right thing. Because you didn't realize what she was really asking. This video explores those subtle, non-romantic questions women ask to test the waters. Questions that allow them to gauge your interest without putting their heart on the line. We'll unpack 8 of them, decoding their deeper meanings, emotional weight, and the best ways to respond. Because after 50, most men don't need to try harder, they just need to notice more. And once you do, you'll begin to see signs of interest where you used to see politeness. You'll recognize warmth where you thought it was just small talk. You'll feel genuine, mutual attraction where before you assumed you were invisible. Question number 1. How old are you, really? It sounds light, innocent. But when a woman looks you in the eye and asks this, she isn't playing trivia. She already knows you're not 30. She's not testing your memory or teasing your ego. She's feeling out how comfortable you are in your own skin. Do you wear your age like a burden or like a badge? If you flinch, joke, or sidestep, she may laugh politely. But something shifts, because what she's really drawn to isn't youth, it's presence, confidence. A man fully alive in the life he's living. The men who stand out aren't the ones trying to rewind the clock. They're the ones who've made peace with time and wear their experience with pride. A strong answer might be, old enough to know what matters, young enough to enjoy the ride, or even with a grin, you want my age or my attitude? I knew a man named Rick, 64, recently divorced, sharp dresser, silver-haired. He told me about a woman he met at a jazz lounge. They had great banter. Then came the question, "How old are you, really?" Thinking he was being clever, he said, "Too old for you." She laughed, but not the way he'd hoped. The spark dimmed. Later, Rick realized he hadn't dodged the question. He dodged the moment. These aren't interviews, they're invitations. Answer with self-doubt or a deflection? She hears that. As we age, we carry more stories, more scars, and sometimes a quiet fear that we're no longer seen. But when she asks, she's not asking for your number. She's asking, "Are you still alive in there?" So next time someone asks your age, don't joke, don't downplay it. Treat it like a door, because if she's asking, it means she's already wondering maybe, and your answer will tell her if that door should stay open. Question number 2, why aren't you married? At first glance, it might sound personal, even loaded, but when a woman asks this in a gentle, curious tone, it's not judgment, it's interest. She's not digging for dirt on your past. She's wondering, are you emotionally available now? Is there room in your life for someone like me? This is where many good men slip. Some give a long-winded recap of heartbreak and divorce. Others get defensive. Tried that, never again. Both answers do the same thing. They close the window she just cracked open. She's not asking for your romantic resume. She's feeling out your readiness. Are you still carrying the past, or have you moved on? Better responses? Life kept me busy, but I've got space now for something real. Or even, I guess I hadn't met the right woman, maybe until now. Let me share a story about Gerald, 67. Quiet guy, widowed young. He met a woman in a community garden. They chatted, easy, light. Then she asked, "So how come a man like you isn't married?" Gerald froze, gave a stiff, vague answer, then changed the subject. A week later, she stopped coming. "I thought she was just being polite," he told me. "But now I realize she was asking about us." These questions are subtle invitations. They arrive in soft tones, not grand declarations. And if your answer is grounded, peaceful, and just a little warm, it tells her, you're open, you're ready. So next time someone asks why you're not married, don't give her a reason to retreat, give her a reason to stay curious. Question number 3. Do you date younger women? This one throws a lot of men off. Some take it as flattery, others get suspicious, like it's a trap. But here's the truth, she's not asking for your dating history. She's feeling you out. Quietly, carefully. She wants to know, would you see someone like me as more than a friend? She's not looking for a yes, she's looking to feel seen, not judged, not compared, and definitely not as another checkmark in your dating record. What she really wants to know is, does the connection we have right now matter more to you than the number on her driver's license? A lot of men miss the moment by puffing up. I've dated plenty of younger women, or shutting down, I'm way too old for you. Both answers miss the point, because she's not asking for approval. She's asking, do I have a chance? The better answer? I don't date by age. I date by energy and connection. Or, I care more about how a woman makes me feel than when she was born. Marcus, 59, told me about meeting a woman at a bookstore, mid-40s, bright, warm. They talked about memoirs, laughed, shared a coffee. Then she asked, do you usually date younger women? He paused, smiled, and said, I like women who bring good energy. Doesn't matter if they're older or younger, just matters if we click. She didn't just smile politely, she leaned in. That answer turned into dinner. Dinner turned into more. Because when she asked, what she really wanted was permission to explore the connection. Not rejection, not bragging. At this stage in life, attraction isn't about games, it's about clarity, kindness, and a little spark. And when she opens the door, the only question is, will you walk through it? Question number 4. What kind of woman do you usually go for? This one sounds like small talk, but don't be fooled. She's not just curious. She's measuring herself against the image you hold. She wants to know if she fits into the story you've built in your mind. Here's where many men go wrong. They answer literally, someone athletic, tall, into golf, like they're reading a menu. But she's not asking for a checklist. She's asking, could I be that woman? She's listening to how you see women in general, whether you're locked into a fantasy from 20 years ago or open to something real now. The wiser move? Speak to qualities she can recognize in herself. I like women who are curious, thoughtful, someone who can laugh even on a tough day. Those aren't traits in a photo, they're things she can feel in herself. Elliot, 62, a retired firefighter, met a woman while volunteering. They were painting a fence together when she asked, what kind of woman do you usually go for? Without thinking, he replied, someone calm, who brings peace to a room just by being in it. She said nothing, but later she stayed behind to help him clean up. When he thanked her, she smiled and said, I was hoping I was your type. From a psychological view, this question is self-selection in disguise. She's quietly wondering whether to lean in or back away. So don't list your fantasy. Describe the connection you want to create, because if she's asking, it's probably not for a friend. Question number 5. Are you always this charming? Sounds playful, almost like a joke, but it's more than a compliment. When a woman says this, she's doing 2 things, acknowledging the spark and watching how you hold it. She's not just complimenting your vibe, she's testing your presence. Can you stay in this warm space without fumbling or making a joke of it? A lot of men deflect. Only on Tuesdays. Guess I'm having a good day. And just like that, the spark fizzles. Instead, meet her where she is. Playful but present. Only when I'm around someone who makes me feel like myself. Or, I try to save it for moments that matter. Alan, 68, widower, soft-spoken. He told me about a dinner party where he met a woman. They talked about books and old movies. She leaned in and said, are you always this charming, or just tonight? He smiled and said, that depends. Are you always this curious, or am I just lucky tonight? She looked at him a little longer, eyes saying, now we're getting somewhere. Because this isn't really about charm, it's about chemistry. She's not making a move, she's opening a door. And when you don't shrink or deflect, when you just receive it, you make her feel safe to stay in the moment. These kinds of questions are gentle bids for connection, and how you respond lets her know whether to take another step or step away. Question number 6. Why don't you have a girlfriend? This may seem simple on the surface, but it's one of the clearest signals she's not just making conversation. She's asking, are you emotionally available? Have you left space in your life for someone like me? A lot of men shut the door without realizing it. I like my freedom. Relationships are too much drama, and in that moment they broadcast a powerful message. Emotionally unavailable, maybe even a little bitter. But she's not asking if you're single, she's asking if you're open. A better response? One that leaves the window open. I've been taking my time, but I'm still open to being surprised. Or, I've been focused on becoming a better man, now I'm ready for a better kind of love. William, 71, always sharp, met a woman at a gallery. After some warm conversation, she leaned in and asked, "Why don't you have a girlfriend?" He looked her in the eye and said, "Because I've been busy learning how to be a better man. Now I'm ready for something better." He told me. Her eyes didn't leave mine for the rest of the night. Women in midlife feel vulnerable too. They just express it differently. Instead of saying how they feel, they ask. And your answer either opens a path to intimacy or tells her to walk away. Question number 7. Would you ever date someone like me? This is it. The closest she'll come to a real confession without fully putting herself out there. It might sound casual or humorous, but it's brave, and beneath the surface, it's vulnerable. Because she's not asking about women like her. She's asking about her. Some men panic. They shrug, they say maybe, or they change the subject. And just like that, she shuts down. Not because she didn't mean it, but because she suddenly feels exposed and alone. So what do you say? Not a line, not a joke, just truth, held with care. I'd be lucky if I could. Then say nothing else. Let it land. Charlie, 66, former military, strong, quiet type, told me about a walk with a woman he was getting to know. Under the fading sky, she asked softly, "Would you ever date someone like me?" He paused, then said, "I think I'd be a fool not to." She didn't speak, just took his hand, and they kept walking. This moment doesn't need strategy, it needs presence. She's showing her heart, wondering if she's still seen, still wanted. And the man who can answer gently, truthfully, becomes unforgettable. Not every question is spoken aloud. Some of the strongest signals come in silence. The way she holds your gaze, tilts her head when you speak, laughs at things that aren't quite jokes, a light touch on your arm, standing just a little too close, mirroring your movements, leaning in when you do. These are not accidents. They are signs that she's not just talking, she's tuning in. Daniel, 70, hadn't dated in over a decade. Met a woman at a film club. She'd sit next to him more often, laugh easily, once touched his hand after a joke. He brushed it off. Then one day she stopped doing it, and he noticed how quiet it felt without her warmth. "She was waiting for me to notice," he said. "I didn't. Not until it was too late." We're wired to pick up these cues. But after heartbreak, we doubt what we see. We tell ourselves, she's just being nice. But what if she's not? What if that look meant, "I see you"? What if her laugh said, "You still have it"? By now you've seen how subtle these signals can be. They aren't loud, they aren't obvious, but they're real. She won't say, "I want you," but she might say, "Would you ever date someone like me?" What she'll remember isn't just what you said, it's how you carried yourself. Whether you rushed to impress or rested in the moment. Because the men women remember aren't the ones with clever lines, they're the ones who made her feel safe, seen, real. At your age, you don't need to chase, you don't need to perform. You've already lived enough to know what matters. Now, it's about recognizing the moment when someone sees that in you, and meeting her halfway. So, let your posture be open. Let your tone be calm. Let your energy say, "I'm here, I'm not playing games." Because when she senses that, everything changes. She leans in, she softens, she lets go of the performance too. And now you're not just talking, you're connecting.